On episode 2 Perspectives podcast, Brian and I go over some helpful tips for getting you started in dating. As for someone who has spent majority of their life on stage, I didn't get the opportunity to date and learn from people. Sometimes having a significant other allows us to find companionship with similar interests. As technology advances, I notice that people becoming more isolated and less interpersonal with those around them. Building bonds with people, especially successful ones, takes time and effort. So, throughout this presentation, we're going to be talking about some highs and some lows, things that you should be mindful of, whether you're trying to learn about yourself or about someone else. And just keep in mind that not all gloves fit in the same hand, if that makes sense. Okay. So, we'll start. How do you identify yourself as an individual, Brian?
Somebody that is pretty much to himself now, something like that. Just like to watch movies, play video games, and just relax. Don't take life too serious now.
Yeah, you're very mellow.
Yeah.
Me, on the other hand, like professionally, I'm very type A, but type B kind of when it comes to relationships because sometimes I just want to be relaxed and not feel like I have to be so critical of every move that I make. I think it's because of my upbringing, like everything had to be like perfect, everything had to be a certain tone, everything had to be a certain way, and I became really conditioned that everything is perfect, but in actuality what makes someone an individual is their imperfections. Something that breaks barriers from other people. Because who wants to date the same person over and over and over and get the same
Yeah,
results?
you're right.
So we can break this part into two parts where we talk about what are some of our values and our individuality. Like, what is something that you expect people to understand when it comes to you?
Um, just don't piss me off. I'm Patty. I play. I'm one of those people that will play the long game. Okay, I will get my revenge.
Like, don't be playing checkers in a chess match,
Oh
right?
yes, yeah. But pretty much, I'm a cool person. I'm patient now, and so I listen. I'm a good listener, so that's a good thing. So yeah.
For me, I value someone that is very ambitious, very goals oriented, because it could match our energy.
Mm.
I feel like being too spontaneous and not having a plan could put you at risk. But sometimes when you're doing like dates and stuff, sometimes being surprised is a good thing. It just depends on what type of surprise it is. Like
Right.
if you're throwing a party, make sure that everybody gets along on that list. So it won't be looking like some people's weddings.
Nah. I like the spontaneous. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to get into becoming more spontaneous and doing something different.
Mm.
I think that's one of the reasons why I like to travel. That's a big thing on my list. Like I want to hit all 50 states by the time when I hit maybe 50.
Hmm.
It used to be when I turned, I think at one point, I think I said I wanted to hit 20 states by the time when I hit 20, about 40 states by the time I hit 30, and then the last 10 when I hit 50, but the pandemic hit. So it kind of slowed down that process. So I'm like easing my way back into traveling,
Hmm.
like the safe route, because people still have COVID, you know?
Right.
And it's like, it's very unsafe out here. People don't think COVID really existed. They think it was just like a mental illness that people were going through. But I'm like, this mental illness was killing people left and right, you know? um, but I definitely like someone that is very passionate and driven because I think your passion can exude off to other people and they're just like, wow, this person is really enthusiastic about what they love and what they want to do, you know? What are some of your passions and ambitions that you hope to gain in the future?
Not too sure. I've pretty much accomplished most of my goals that I've set out for myself.
Hmm.
They're pretty much just live life to the fullest. Pretty don't take life too serious nowadays. It doesn't make sense. Maybe people younger than me can still do that since they haven't figured themselves out, but I have.
How long does it take for someone to figure themselves, in your
It
opinion?
takes them as long as it takes, and not everyone's the same. I can't say that someone can figure themselves out in a year. Some people can figure themselves out in 25 years. It's everyone's different.
How I was raised is that like you got your 20s to kind of explore life and whatever, but by the time when you hit 30, you better have your good job, you have to have a certain income, you have to have this, that. But everything has changed. I'm not sure in Bermuda if you get the news whether we're talking about where people are staying at home a lot longer. People aren't leaving their homes until they're like 32, 35 because they're going to graduate school, um, not losing their
Mm,
jobs. There's a lot of things going on
not her. The reason
living.
why people still live with their parents or whatnot is because the housing is down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Too. Everything is becoming more expensive here. Like Massachusetts is the third most expensive place in the United States. I think first is either New York or California. So we're going to break into love languages. There are about 5 languages that we can break down: words of affirmation, acts of service, gift giving, quality time, and physical touch.
hmm
So we'll talk about each point and give our own perspective of what does it mean to us and if that's something that we like to receive, if that makes sense.
right.
Okay, words of affirmations. How would you break that one down?
Someone that pretty much sweet talks you on a constant basis. Um, Communication and all that, pretty much.
Hmm.
The That's what that means to me.
I think for me, it means that you're giving people that validation that they're looking for. I feel like a lot of people don't have confidence within themselves
Mm,
and they kind of need that person to be like, oh, you look pretty. I love that outfit. I love how you smell. And kind of want to be obsessed with them.
mm,
I think all of us kind of want a spectrum of feeling validated
right.
in some type of way. But some people are more in a higher spectrum than a lower spectrum. How about this one for you? Acts of service.
Yes. I, re- I like when people do things instead of me telling them what to do. If you catch my
Hmm.
drift.
I think acts of service is very good to see how attentive people are. Like going on specific dates. Like some people, they don't want to feel like they're in a gold digger relationship
Hmm
of they have to be extravagant about everything. Some people want something simple like candles, flowers, a hotel room, or whatever after a nice date, or just watching a movie.
hmm
It doesn't have to be, we have to go on a yacht, we have to go on a destination wedding, you know.
Put me on a private island.
Gift giving. I think it's similar to acts of service, but it's a little bit different.
Yeah, nah. Mm, I don't know. I don't. That's a tough one because not everybody likes likes doing it or even sometimes receiving it. Probably. So I don't know.
All right. So For my research, receiving gifts, they have it defined as expressing love through or thoughtful and meaningful gifts. However, sometimes it can be overwhelming for people because they feel that, okay, this person got me something extravagant. I have to get something equal or higher.
Mm.
Comes that hustle of how do I maintain this? And sometimes people don't want something expensive. They just want you to be appreciative of receiving the
Yeah,
gift.
but sometimes it could be
Competition.
no, what's it called? Oh, it just went away from me. An ulterior motive behind the gift, because some people will use it to their advantage, such as, remember when I gave you that gift and yeah, blah 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 XYZ. Well, I this is what I really want. Would you get this for me? They'll use it against you.
Hmm.
So and I'm good. Unless the gift is from your heart, it doesn't have to be expensive. It's the thought that counts. Is what I like to say nowadays. It's the thought that counts.
I think gifts can be really good if you know the person. Like the first couple of dates, ask the basic thing of do you want kids? Where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What were previous relationships like? What are things that you're looking for? Stuff like that. And it gives you the opportunity to see, okay, these are some common things that they are repeating. Maybe I should do a little bit of this. It doesn't even have to be like an amazing, extravagant gift. It could be you just showing up every day, you holding their hand. You know, it could be, like I said, this could be something really simple. It doesn't have to be something that has, well, it'll have value, but it doesn't have to do with a dollar sign,
Mm.
if you get my drift.
Yep, I get it.
The next one is quality time.
That's a big yes. Yeah, quality time is the number one affirmation.
Hmm.
For me, you don't even have to do anything. We can just be in the same room. You can do what you're doing. I can do what I'm doing. As long as if I can just stop and look at you and then go back to what I'm doing, I'm good.
Hmm. Um, I don't want to put any names out there, but I was watching Love Island, and some of the cast members they enjoyed having some space.
Yes.
Some people are thinking, okay, we can spend a year trying to date and go back and forth, and then eventually get married, then move in.
Hmm.
And then there's some people are just like, I want to get married right before. I want to get married after I moved in, or whatever, just to see how the person's like. And sometimes it can cause a drift because how people were raised in certain cultures.
Hmm.
It's like some people they have designated people by their family member voting a person to marry. So sometimes you don't get that opportunity to get to know the person, but you're stuck with them because of whatever religion purpose it is.
Right.
And you're forced to build this connection and hopefully it works out, but sometimes it doesn't. You know, it's kind of like a contract. Just like a wedding, it's a piece of paper that has value. Hopefully people respect the boundaries that they agreed upon, but marriage isn't lasting as long as it used to,
Hmm.
you know? Physical touch is the last one.
Yes and no for me. I think the older I get, the more I'm like, just don't touch me. Don't touch me. Especially with strangers. I don't even like hugging anymore. I normally do a fist pump now. Maybe for my significant other, yes, it doesn't matter, but strangers, nah, I'm good.
Hmm, I'm on a spectrum of that. Uh, I'll explain it like this. It depends on how comfortable I'm with a person.
Hmm.
Like for me, the handshake, I think more people respect the handshake than a fist pound. It's just something about a fist pound that means that you don't think their hands are clean.
Exactly. I don't
So,
trust nobody.
but some people appreciate like a very strong handshake
Hmm.
because it shows confidence and respect and looking people directly in the eye. But some cultures you can't look at people in the eye, especially elders. So you got to respect that. And then a hug, it can be expressive to like maybe someone that's close.
Yes, very.
And then significant others, there's just no boundaries, I guess. Unless if you really don't like being touched, unless,
Yeah, yeah,
people get triggered.
that is correct.
Okay, now it's time for our quick sponsor. We have BPerryFilms, the company that I operate. I am currently hosting a webinar on August 23rd at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called Black Connect. You can find a link in the description box down below. Sign up on Eventbrite. This is going to be a 1 hour event. It's going to have a 20-minute presentation by me talking about my company, how I got started, and also how I can become a resource for all of you. You will be eligible for grants, affiliate marketing, and so many other benefits that come with working with me. You might see some of my previous clients, and I could talk very good about how I have helped them in some type of way. Like I said, this is an opportunity that you don't want to miss out. And this is an opportunity for the Black community to really step into this opportunity and showcase that, yeah, we need opportunities too, and not just talk about it. So, like I said, join me on August 23rd, this Saturday coming, Eastern Time at 3 o'clock. So, back to the video. Okay, here's a controversial one because, technology was a big thing during the pandemic.
Hmm.
Apps versus in person. So let's talk about pre-pandemic. Meeting a person either in your workplace, at a social setting. How was that like before the pandemic?
Normal? It didn't, I don't know. Never. I treated it as normal. Normal human
Mhm.
interaction.
Some people haven't really dated before, and it really took apps, especially for introverts. I
But
can
apps was even out before the pandemic.
Tinder was. What else? Facebook dating
There,
was out.
there was a lot before the pandemic. There was a lot of apps before the pandemic.
I think
It's just that the pandemic just made it even
more
more
accessible.
accessible because people got comfortable with not going out.
I think before when I went on dates and stuff before the pandemic, people were more in tune to getting to know you.
Mm.
People were more comfortable expressing their expression for you, their love and affection, and wanting to get to know you. And sometimes you'll meet people either in your workplace. I don't really do that. I'd rather keep my work, and my personal.
Same here.
For, but for some people, all they do is work. They might have jobs at restaurants or working at airports or something like that, things that have strenuous hours where they're not able to really get to meet people outside of their network. So it's pretty common seeing people date someone from the workplace because they have something in common of that. They understand how busy that their schedule is. So there's no concern of, oh, this person's cheating on me because they haven't reached out.
Hmm.
I think people were more confident with themselves and people were more to themselves and not have to post everything. Just to get a reaction for other people.
Hmm.
Um, did any of those points kind of like give you some idea of
Of what?
what it was like for you and that standpoint, or you didn't really date?
I didn't really start dating until I was in college, and I was the one who, if I dated someone, I was normally in a relationship with them soon after. So I didn't really date as much. Uh,
We can go into speed dating. This is something that I enjoy doing.
mm,
I think for me, speed dating gives me an opportunity to just get like dum 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 dum, and it's in a confined environment. I always wanted to do it in person, like have like a designated room just to get to know people,
hmm
exchange numbers, and But I think it works really well once you find that connection. And sometimes we take too long to get to the point. And I feel like when we are rushed and maybe a 10-minute set in, like one person talks for 5 minutes, the next person talks for 5 minutes,
mm
it gives you an opportunity to be like, okay, this person hit something right there. Okay, let me express my feelings on this. Or maybe, okay, that might be a turn off. Okay, next, please tell me. Let's go to the next person, and it gets people to get outside their comfort zone.
hmm
It's just like public speaking. The more that you practice, the better you become. And then when you get out to that real world, it's such a different monster. And you're just like, wow, I really appreciated this moment. So the next one is apps during the pandemic to now.
The more accessible. That's how people date now, end up dating now. How did you all meet? Oh, we met on Tinder. How did you all meet? Oh, we met on XYZ.
Yeah,
You still got your certain type of people that still go to bars or clubs and still meet people like that. Or ill flings that, well, no, I wouldn't say ill flings, but people that you met in the past and you just randomly bumped into them years later and then started talking and feelings start happening. So stuff like that, pretty much.
I feel like apps, especially using an alias, I think it helps because if someone calls you a certain name, you kind of identify that these people that meet you in person.
Yeah, Robert.
You have accountability. Just keep it like something similar to your name. But don't be lying to people and saying that you're 6 foot and you're only like 5'2". I know people have been in certain situations, especially women. I know you guys are watching this. Like, I used to play basketball. I make $100,000 a year. People will do certain things and even be on Christian Mingle and not even really be a Christian. Those are real things.
Mhm.
What I will say about apps is that it can give you an opportunity to debate if you're gonna sleep with this person, like a quick fling. Are these people gonna be your long term friends or someone to casually talk to from time to time? I think it gives opportunities for introverts to really express themselves
Mhm.
because sometimes they're not able to articulate their thoughts. So sometimes I think apps can be a good thing, and then sometimes it can be a bad thing. Like seeing that people don't get tested all the time is very concerning.
Great.
Um, I think even me and Brian have talked about this where I tell my friends that even when they're with their significant other during the dating stage or whatever, just do regular checkups. It can be twice a year or once a quarter if you want, and call it a field trip. Hold each other's hand and be like, have that conversation. Either say that you caught something or finding out right then and there, so the person has an opportunity to digest it.
Mhm.
You know, just tell people about your history in the past and how you are trying to change your habits. I think talking about STDs and STIs are very important. I'm gonna have someone in healthcare, a doctor, talk about certain viruses to get people exposed to taking care of themselves, like getting tested, taking pills if you need to, making sure that your partner is keeping up to date. I think you can go into this because you know more about it than I do. Um, like, can you explain what PrEP is and some other medicines that we have?
PrEP is just something to um, help you or slow your chances of catching HIV. Pretty much that's what PrEP is. You can go to your clinic and get the pills, or you can go to your GP and tell them that you're sexually active and you want to start PrEP. It's just to help you keep safe.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's important to keep yourself educated on certain things,
Hmm.
being alert. And I love the fact that apps are starting to express that. Okay, we are getting reports that some people are carrying certain things. This is how we can help prevent it or prolong people's lives a lot longer.
Mm.
I'll probably make a podcast episode about someone who had HIV and they had expressed it to a group of people in a separate video. Okay, here's a positive point. Finding your soulmate. How do you know when you have found the one saying, I love you, or actually being in love?
Well, it depends on who the person is. I mean, no, it depends on each person because each person has different emotions, so not everyone's the same. Like I just said at the beginning of the video, but yeah, mine's is. Oh God, it's so hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but I go through it majority of the time. To make it easier, what I can say is it's just when I'm just mad at my partner at some points, and they just find ways to not get me angry, and I'm like, can I just be angry for just 10 minutes, please? So stuff like that,
Hmm.
and knowing that I'm in love is when I don't, I'm more nice to them and not mean like I'm normally are to to people. Because you could ask anyone that knows me. I could be very mean.
I think for me, answering this question, let me break it down into three parts because it's kind of like a overwhelming statement. So when do you know that you found the one? It's hard to say because even when you're going through your marriage and it could be a lot of trials and tribulations through it, are you going to keep pushing through it or are you just going to give up?
Hmm.
If you're willing to throw in the towel as soon as a problem hits, that person's definitely not the one.
Yeah.
I think people are just so quick to saying, I'm the first one to get married in my group. Everything is great. Post up some pictures. And that's when we know something's going on. The
Mm.
pictures stop coming in. They're feeling overwhelmed. All you hear is people bickering back and forth. People aren't hearing each other out. That's when you know that it was all a facade.
Hmm.
I think when you found that one, you know it deep down in your mind, body, soul. You feel it everywhere.
Right.
You have so much building up and you want to work things out. And even when Brian was saying he wants to be angry for that moment, let that person be angry for that moment.
Mm.
Don't go to sleep angry.
No.
Always hash it out. Don't go to other people about your problems. Figure it out amongst yourself because people be like, "Oh, I knew he wasn't no good. Oh, I knew she wasn't no good. You should have left them there a long time ago. What happened to that girl Keisha? What happened to that guy Paul? You know, we liked him better. We liked her better. You know, it's a lot of going back and forth, and some people don't want to see you happy because they're not happy in their own situation.
Hmm.
I think people are so quick to saying, "I love you." Oh, babe, can I hold your hand? Oh, and like we're gonna go through some of these bullet points that we had before. Some people don't like to be touched. Some people don't want want validation for themselves. Some people want to be that main character where they have to the person has to be obsessed with them all the time
mm,
and they can't get a moment to breathe. And that can be sometimes very unhealthy. Is it something that happened in their past and you can bring it up in conversation? Did your previous partner do something to you that you feel hurt, experience a traumatic experience growing up? A lot of people have been raped. A lot of people have been abused. A lot of people be going through financial hardship, losing their job, losing their loved one, losing their kid. It's a lot. And then introducing your child to someone new,
yeah.
you know, it's a lot. So I think before you say I love you first, or that person saying I love you, really think about it.
Mm,
It could be a couple weeks for you. It could be a couple months for you. It could be a couple years for you. But hopefully someone says that I love you before someone dies.
yeah.
And then being in love, you just feel that warmth. You know, you can't see yourself for anyone else. Even if you have cheated on a person, you go back to that person and be like, I messed up. Talk about it, give that person a hug, tear it up,
Mhm.
give that person an opportunity to say, I'm walking away or I forgive you. You don't know what the outcome is, but at least you were transparent, you know? But hopefully that answers all 3 points.
Yeah.
Understanding your worth. What are you willing to put up with and what are you not willing to put up with?
I'm willing to put up with people's goofy, um, not kinks. I won't say kinks. Uh, twerks or something, if that's what they call it.
Mhm,
What I won't put up with is disrespect. Nothing, yeah, no disrespect. In front of
mhm.
me, behind me, no, no disrespect.
You sound like me in a workplace. I'm like, I don't want to hear nothing in front of me, beside me, diagonal from me, not in my peripherals. I got my headphones on. I don't know you that well. You don't know me that well. I'm gonna keep these headphones on and I'm gonna do my job because that's what I'm
I
getting
don't know
paid
about
for.
that. I like a little work drum. I like a little work drum as long as it doesn't involve me.
Because if they're talking about someone, they're probably talking about you too.
I don't do nothing for them to talk about.
But knowing your worth,
Mm,
I think people should. I might make this into a workbook for you guys, but making a sheet kind of like your goals pro plan. If you have taken my course on it, go read up on it. But I'll do a relationship version of it as well, and making a list of what are 10 things that you're looking for, or basically 10 things that you love about yourself, 10 things that you love about your partner. Right? Maybe 5 bullet points, things that you can't stand that they do. And then write 3 bullet points of how you can work things out once you communicate, and maybe spend a month working on those 5 bullet points. But you're gonna break each bullet point into 3 different subtopics. I think this gives an opportunity for you to have date night, even if it's once a month, twice a month. Work it out in your basic schedule. If you're living together, learn how to communicate effectively, explore the world, hang out with your friends. Just give an opportunity for you guys to have space and also have time for you to come together. Because sometimes something like distance can be a big strain, which we're going to go into next. But I think for me, I am willing to put in the work and just keep pushing forward, not dwell too much on the past. I am a very forgiving person when it's applicable to. There's a certain criteria. But like I said, you just have to understand yourself. And you have to be willing to say, as I'm getting older, I have changed. My values have changed. You dating in your teens is different from dating in your 20s. Being dating in your 20s is different from your 30s, your 40s. You being 100 years old, you know? And like, some of us may not live that long, some of us won't. But just imagine you being in that relationship for 60 plus years. And just think about how much you can talk about and how many laughs you had. Think about all the terrible moments that you had together. And you're just like, I stuck in there. Okay, the next one is, I think the last one is common struggles in a relationship. Long distance. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, well, it can be a hindrance and a struggle. So it depends on who the people in the relationship are looking for. So I won't really call it a hindrance
Hmm.
because,
I think people make it work.
but yeah, some people do make it work. But there's sometimes there has to be a time frame. Nothing. I don't, for me, nothing after 5 years.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you have to figure out the goal of how are you gonna live together, whether
Mhm.
one person's living in one country versus the other, whether that they're living in a different state from you.
Yeah.
You got to work it out. Either you're talking every single day, doing a FaceTime here and there, doing a date physically, or hopping on a Zoom and or FaceTime and watching a movie on your screen, or
Mhm.
even on your phone, playing the audio on Disney or whatever, finding a common show or movie, and you guys are just laughing through it, asking each other how's work, understand the time dedication because it could be a 12-hour difference. You know, you might have to sacrifice some sleep here and there.
Yep.
You know, make it work. Some people are just like, I would never do that, but you never know who you might fall in love
Yeah.
with. Building trust.
Yeah. That takes time and effort. That's so. That's all I can say on that one. Takes time and effort.
I think trust does take time and effort. You just can't trust everything that someone says or does. Like I said, sometimes you have to confront that person head on,
Hmm.
get the truth. Um, I wish more people could communicate a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like I said, when you go through the different affirmations, you kind of see how everything intertwines. It's like everyone can say, "Oh, I'm not into this," but as we're going through these points, we're just
Mm.
reflecting off like, "Oh, we just said a couple minutes ago we would never do this," and now look at us just talking about it, and we're just like, "Okay, maybe I would. Maybe that intrigues me." How do you manage different aspirations? Like one person being spontaneous versus one person has to be like critical.
You have to learn to adapt if you actually like the person or even love the person. You have to learn
Mhm.
how to adapt with the twerks, with the kinks and stuff, and the word and the everything. If you my thing is, if you can't like me at my worst, you're not gonna like me at my best, or something like that.
I agree. Totally agree. Now, we're gonna give our final take on how to sustain a healthy relationship. So, reflecting on everything that we have spoke on, do you feel like what do you feel like the biggest takeaway will be from these people's experience listening to this presentation?
Don't take things too seriously. Let go with the flow. Trust your instincts. If your gut's telling you one thing, go for it. Don't don't hesitate. Just go for it. If it's telling you it's wrong, it's probably wrong.
I will say married people do not get advice from single people. I'm sorry.
Mm,
They're not at your level yet. They might be able to help you through your divorce and trying to get you settled back. But I think it's very hard to have certain conversations that people haven't lived through. It's like getting advice from people that haven't been parents yet on how to raise a kid.
Mm,
It's like we can observe and get suggestions from an outside lens, but we don't know how it's like to change a diaper.
right.
We don't know how it's like dealing with a baby with a crazy schedule. Um, all we know how to do is just live through our experience. I feel that we all have a place where we want to feel validated. We all struggle through things. We all cry. We laugh. We get angry. We have all these different intentions, but they're all for the greater good, and we're trying to protect ourselves. That's why that we feel like or cry, because we just want to feel comfort. We want to feel safe. We want to feel not content, but confident in what we're in.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, just be confident in yourself. Take on opportunities. Like I say to the people that sign up for my one-on-one coaching or my webinars, even though that I'm giving you a quick presentation, this is your network of people that are coming to learn the same thing. This is your time to exchange contact information. This is your opportunity to show people what your craft is. Do the same thing with your relationship. Someone might have a skill in writing, another person might have skills in math. Maybe someone can help you manage your bills, and then you can have a person learn how to negotiate a contract to get a higher salary. It goes hand in hand. So I actually really enjoyed this presentation. Thank you, Brian. I love this podcast a lot because we're both gaining so much insight. And it gets people to get a chance to know who we are as individuals. So follow me at BPerryFilms on YouTube and Substack. BPerryFilms on Instagram and TikTok. I'll put all my links in the description down below. Brian, what's all your information?
Yo, dirty deal. Look back into the last videos. Go watch the last videos. You'll find me.
Definitely share these videos. We work so hard planning out, trying to record. We have two very busy schedules, and we try to be as consistent as we need to. Give us some ideas of what content that you would like us to post about,
Hmm.
and I hope you all enjoyed. Thank
All
you.
right.